Farm Basics is brought to you by the Liberty Link trait and Liberty herbicide from Bayer. The most reliable weed management solution, Liberty Link and Liberty herbicide are the link to efficient row crop production and sustainable weed management.
Brian, I'm holding in my hand a material safety data sheet. This is something that every farmer should have for every product they're applying on their farm, but what is this thing?
Okay, well, it's not just for on the farm. So let's say you have a household cleaner, and you probably didn't even realize there's a little bit of safety concern with some of those products in your home. You can look this up online and take any product in the world just about that's labeled in the United States, and there will be this material safety data sheet, and it will just tell you a bunch of different things, and we're going to go through all these little details here in a little bit, but it'll go through a bunch of different things about this product and really how safe it is and how it should be used.
Well, this particular product has 16 things, Brian, on the material safety data sheet. Let's quiz you and see how well you know them. Okay, first of all, chemical product and company identification with emergency numbers. What do we need emergency numbers for?
Well, okay, you know what we need emergency numbers for, just in case. But here's the one thing that I wanted to point out. On the farm, everybody gets panicked by, oh, I got to have all this safety stuff and everything else. Yeah, you do. But you know what? There are a lot of really, really safe products now on the farm. It's whole different than it was 30, 40 years ago, where we had a lot more dangerous items. A lot of those things are banned now in the United States, so I feel pretty good. But anyway, it's just contact information, and that's what all these material safety data sheets are going to start out with. Who makes the product? What's the EPA registration number? And how do you contact the company if there's something wrong?
All right, well, this one also has composition information on ingredients.
Yeah, so every product is going to tell you what's in it. For just about all products, they're going to tell you what the active ingredient is, and then what some of the carriers are. Like in this case, the product that Darren's looking at here is a dry product, so the carrier is clay. So clay is actually one of the ingredients.
Well, there wasn't any health problem with the clay in here, but some of the other stuff maybe there is. Now, okay, hazard identification.
Yeah, so just telling you how toxic this product really is. So that's where we start getting into...
based on your skin or in your eyes or if you eat it or anything like that. So yeah, depending on how some of it may come onto you or blow into your face or whatever, you spill some on your arm, something like that. All right, how about first aid measures?
Yep, first aid measures, pretty self-explanatory. Also, there's firefighting measures. Just keep going, Darren. Now we start moving through some of these things pretty quick.
Accidental release measures.
Yeah, so with a lot of these products, if it happens to be a 2.5 gallon jug and it falls in the ground and breaks, it's probably not the end of the world, but you have to check on the material safety data sheet and see, well, what is a reportable quantity? What do I do with this now that it did happen to spill? And, you know, these things rarely come into play because almost in all cases, these things are used properly. There's no big issue. But if there ever would happen to be a problem, that's why some of these things are on here.
Okay, handling and storage procedures. Exposure controls or personal protection.
Yep, so this is going to talk a little bit about what you need to wear. Do you need to wear a respirator? Do you just need to wear rubber gloves? How safe are a lot of these products?
Okay, physical and chemical properties, so the boiling point and that kind of thing.
Yep. Oh, and one of the things too that goes along with that is the vapor pressure. And this is something we talk to farmers about a lot because let's say you wanted to spray a residual product, something that's going to last for, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, we do it in the garden all the time with preen.
Right, and you're going to spray that on top of the ground or lay that on top of the ground. What's the vapor pressure? How quickly is that going to vaporize up and go up in the air? So with a very high vapor pressure product, you might spray it out on the ground and think, oh, I'm going to get great weed control for a while. No, you're not. It's a sunny, windy day. You just lost it all in the air.
Okay, well then we've also got stability and reactivity if it will react with something else. Then toxicology information and LD50.
Yep, so we talk a lot about LD50s here on Ag PhD. It's very important for you to know with some of these products, and what LD50 stands for is lethal dose 50%. How much does it take to kill half of test subjects? One of the reasons why we bring this up is a lot of these products on the farm are actually really safe. So I give the example all the time. People talk about atrazine and how dangerous it is. I say, look, atrazine doesn't cause cancer, number one. And number two, the LD50 on atrazine is 3,000 milligrams per kilogram. Whereas with caffeine, the LD50 is 200 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So in other words, it literally takes 15 times more atrazine to kill you than it does caffeine.
All right. How about birds and how about fish? Ecological information they have on here as well. So if you're spraying near a stream or if you've got birds in your area, you have to be careful for that. Then we look at disposal considerations. What are you going to dispose it for? Why aren't you going to use it for weed control?
Yep, but nevertheless, the company has to develop all that information in case somebody needed to dispose of it.
We get all the DOT shipping information, then regulatory information by the state, by the country. That's different in some states.
Yeah, and it is going to be different. It really depends on the product. Now, obviously, a lot of the products we're dealing with are relatively safe, and so it's standard across the entire United States. But there are some products that there's certain reporting measures, there's certain usage things. Some products are just entirely not labeled in certain states, and they might be labeled right across the border in the very next state. So you want to make sure you're always checking to make sure the product you're using is labeled in your state and even in your county.
And the last thing they have here is just some other information like when this label was written and when the last update was and which company was by and so forth.
Yep, so we just wanted to make sure that you understood there is this material safety data sheet. There's also what we talk about often on Ag PhD, the label, the chemical label, and then material safety data sheet. They're two separate things. So the MSDS sheet is talking about all the safety measures and everything that we just went through. The label is talking about how do you use this to control weeds or insects or diseases, whatever it is.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into the MSDS sheet, but it doesn't tell you how to kill our weed of the week. We'll show you how to control this tough weed coming up later in the show.